What's up, Trader's Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. We got the week ahead look and the 5 stocks I'm watching, plus the economic reports that you need to pay attention. Plus, I'm going to give a shout out on a couple names to Frank Gregory, some stocks that he picked out, tell you about a couple of trades, and I'm going to tease a trade I'm looking at in Nike. So stay tuned. Let's start with the economics. We have the chairman of the Federal Reserve speaking to Congress this week, Wednesday. Jerome Powell speaking. That's going to be important. We also have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Those are going to be incredibly important as well. And why are they important? All right, folks. I want you to write this one down because this is important. Obviously, in March, this is the CME Fed Watch tool. And in March, which is in 16 days, they're pricing in no rate cut. In May, they're pricing in a 20% chance of a rate cut. Now, this is the one I want you to pay attention to. They're pricing in about a 64% chance of a rate cut in June. It is not going to happen. Why? The S&P is shooting straight up. And that is creating some inflationary aspects in the market, wealth effect. Things that maybe are positive toward inflation, car prices, they are coming down. But negative toward inflation, food prices, energy prices. And again, the stock market, that wealth effect is really dangerous for inflation. And then you have chips and computers. So keep an eye out on those as well. Write this down. There is no way there's a rate cut in June. You can timestamp me. All right, next, let's look at SPX. We're flattish on the day, sitting at an all-time high. I talked about the economic reports. Until we get a reason to sell, SPX is just going to move higher. Now, could non-farms send us lower? Yes. Is it going to be significantly lower? Probably not. I think maybe we're kind of overstretched. A retest of the 21-day moving average probably makes a little sense here. Maybe be on the lookout for that. Q's kind of a different story, and I'm going to tell you why in my watch list, but Q's are a really mixed bag. On one hand, we have chips going way higher, AMD, NVIDIA, super microcomputer. On the other hand, you have names like Apple, Tesla, and Google getting face punched. Now, finally, I want to look at bonds. They're coiling. You just heard me say there's no way they're gonna cut rates in June. It ain't gonna happen. Bonds are coiling. As that realization happens, bonds might get sold, and you might get an opportunity to get in at some of those really high CD rates again. Will there be rate cuts this year? Probably. But will they happen the first half of the year? I'm 99% certain they will not. So again, you can timestamp that. But bonds are coiling. I think the floor could fall out on that. All right. So let's look at the stocks I'm watching this week. Number one, Apple. It's down $5, getting sued by the EU. An interesting spot to potentially go long. Google. Getting face punched again. We actually closed Google puts up over 100%. We saw a bunch of put flow early in the week last week. Bought puts in for about 170, out at $4. That is a nice trade for Delta Strike. Another name I am watching is Tesla and the EVs. They are getting absolutely smoked. Tesla's down 7%. Starting to look like an interesting long. Lee, even worse, down 14%. So there is some real issues in the EV space. That's gonna crush lithium as well. Standard Lithium, some of these lithium names really taking it on the chin. ALB, another one that is getting absolutely smoked. So these lithium names, they're dropping with those names. Now, different side. Chips. Intel having a massive day, up 6%. NVIDIA. It is a juggernaut. It's NVIDIA's world. You're just living in it. This one, to say it's overbought is an understatement. I think it's going to be pulling back in the next few days, but who knows when. Could be 1,000 before that happens. But it is getting short squeezed. Now, lastly, name you're probably not thinking about, Pfizer. It's getting near a 1-year low. It's at a multi-year low right now. All I'm seeing is call buying in Pfizer. So this is one that may set up bullish. Now, finally, I want to give a shout out to Frank on SMR, New Scale Power Corporation. This is one Frank said, hey, Mark, take a look at this one. They're going to start making a lot of money off government contracts for small nuclear plants. I bought a lot of it in the twos. So I'm very pleased with the way this one is starting to rally. Listen to Frank when he writes stuff up. Another name that does report after the bell that is a Frank special, one that I like, is AVAV, AeroVironment. I am long stock, short call in this one. I think it's going to go back to 140. Earnings are tonight, so it could take a dip. If it dips back toward 125, I'm going to buy more. Couple other really nice wins that we've had this week or last week in Delta Strike. VRT. This is one where we saw a bunch of bull flow. It dumped into earnings and then has just since taken off. Another one that we closed for a nice one was Palantir. We closed these on Friday for a nice win. Another name I'm keeping an eye on that we're long is Safe Bulkers. Look at the move this one's made. We're long some really cheap 5 calls. I really like this one. Now, a name on my watch list that I didn't talk about is Nike. Trading $99.20. It is at it's at a low going all the way back to September of 2023. Looking really interesting. In tomorrow's write-up, I'm going to show you exactly the trade that I put on today. This is one that I really like. I think it's interesting, the trade that I did, and you're going to be very interested in how I set it up. So make sure you're reading tomorrow. I'm going to spend a lot of time. So, folks, there you have it. Probably bullish today and tomorrow, Monday and Tuesday. We'll see what happens to the Fed. If we're going to get a big plunge, probably going to happen Friday. Maybe we test the 21-day moving average. But we do that, I probably would want to jump back in long. I gave you the stocks that I'm watching. And a little shout out to Frank on some of his great picks. I think there's still some time in SMR. All right, folks. I'll be back tomorrow. I hope you have a great day. I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a good one.